Howdy folks, TJ here. I'm gonna come out and say it. Macworld Expo, I miss you. I so much miss the Macworld Conference and Expos that used to happen from 1985 until 2014. There were decades and decades of people converging on San Francisco to enjoy, I can't say this word, camaraderie. I never can say that word. People getting together, having a good time. Now, the new Apple campus, I've never been to the Apple campus, by the way. And from what I kind of gathered in 2009, they said, hey, Macworld Expo, this is the last year we're going to be having a booth at your show. That spelt the demise of the show, and not long afterwards, in 2014, the Macworld / iWorld, I think they called it, iWorld, something like that. I think I wrote it down. iWorld, iWorld, Macworld iWorld, ceased to exist. This time of year, January of every year, was a special time. You just got through the holiday season, and all of a sudden, January's here. Happy New Year. Well, where are we going? We're going to Macworld. I attended many of a Macworld, not all of them, because I was an Atarian. I don't have my Atari shirt on right now, but I was an Atarian from 1980 to 1994, 95-ish, where I then became, I appreciated the Macs, I appreciated the Apples, but I was a power without the price kid. But then I needed to make a jump. I was of age. I was going into businesses. I needed a good computer because Atari and the Amigas and all those other cool platforms kind of died off. So I went Apple. And I've been Apple ever since, even though most of my world, most of the reasons you guys are watching this video is because I love old 8-bit computers. I continue to use Ataris and Sinclairs and all of these different brands, even the Aquarius from Mattel. Anyway, I'm kind of, this video, hopefully you enjoy it because we're going to reminisce. And not only do I have my MacSociety.com t-shirt on, I've got a badge that shows I was at a keynote. This is a platinum pass. Let me show you this bad boy. Platinum pass to the Macworld Expo. I've covered the little barcode that was down here because I don't know if there's anything of value on there. I doubt it this long past it. And then here's the back of it. So for 2 years, I actually attended and went to a keynote. The keynotes from Steve Jobs are legendary. I got to attend, I'm going to say, 2 of the best ones. Well, really one of the best ones. Other than the early days, I wasn't there in 85. I wasn't there in 90. I think the first one I attended was mid-90s. But I attended the iPhone 2007 keynote by Steve Jobs, where he came out and said, you got an iPod, a phone, and an internet communication device. An iPod, a phone, an internet communication device. You get the picture? That's what he basically said. And then they introduced one device that did them all, the iPhone. I was there at that one, 2007, and then 2009 is where this badge is from. 2008, excuse me. And 2008 is when they introduced the MacBook Air, where Steve conveniently pulled out of a little manila yellow envelope the slimmest little MacBook Air. And yes, I did purchase one, an 11-inch model. So this is all about Macworld. So January. It's January right now. CES is going on. But TJ would have been going to Macworld. I appreciate the Apple campuses having these Apple events every year. I've never attended one. And I think Apple basically said, we can put on a Macworld-sized event all the time. But it's a closed event. It's a party for one, party for Apple. I love you, Apple, but what about everybody else? A circus needs a lot of circus acts. And that makes the circus leader bigger, better, badder, and it builds a big community. And that's what Macworld was, Macworld Expo. It had everybody from me writing an application, to that person writing a game, to this person making a hardware device. All these people coming together as a group, as a party, Apple being at the forefront because it's obviously a Macworld Expo. And it was a big, everybody converged on it. It was a people chatting, interweaving ideas. Right now at Apple, I know you have great online events, and you have some events where you go to the Steve Jobs Theater and people have a little bit of a party, and it's cool, but it's not global in terms of all these other companies getting the attention they deserve, because they're helping your platform eventually. Now, I know Apple makes most of their stuff in terms of they have desktop publishing, and do they actually have a desktop publishing app they make themselves? I don't think so. They've got all these other programs, obviously for video production. They've got Final Cut Pro. They've got an answer to most everything. But there's a lot of other questions that people have answers for, and they make products that help toot Apple's horn, toot their own horn, make us excited about going there and buying it and using it and having a good time. And people are having fun together at an outside event that's not inside of a company. It's an outside event, and it was a great time to meet new people, meet people of old friends, getting together, having ideas. That is lost on the current Apple events. You watch these keynotes that are manufactured behind the scenes, and they got a lot of eye candy, and they're wonderful, but I want to be there in person and chat with you, Apple, and chat with everybody else that helps make the Apple work. The Apple Circus, I'll call it. There's a lot of circus people out there. Do you remember, what's the name of the show? Your Mac Life. Do you remember Your Mac Life? In fact, one of the badges, one of the platinum passes I won from one of their shows. They had a thing, send us something about yourself and why you deserve getting a pass to the Apple Keynote and having a platinum pass to do all these other fun things. I put in something and I won. Amazingly. And so I got to go to Macworld, and not only did I enjoy Macworld Expo and Apple and the Keynote, I even went to go see Devo one night. They had part of the Platinum Pass, I think. I got to go to watch Devo in concert at one of the old theater concert places in San Francisco. What's the name of the place? I'm forgetting it, but it's a very popular place that back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, they had concerts to. What the heck's the name? I'll remember it after I turn off the recorder. But anyway, it was a whole week of just fun. And I miss that. I miss January, this time of year, going to a Macworld Expo. I looked forward to it. I looked forward to being with people, meeting people, watching people. The Keynote, I got to see Randy Newman in the Keynote. They typically brought on somebody to do music. They had John Mayer in 2007, and that was the iPhone introduction. And then the next year with MacBook Air, they had a Randy Newman. Short people got no reason. I wrote that song. In fact, he may have even sang it there. Anyway, this is just, I miss wearing my t-shirt, MacSociety.com, which no longer goes anyplace. It's still my URL, and I used to be in business for myself, and I used to deal with Macs on a day-to-day basis in terms of supporting them. Now I'm a fly fisherman. I do fly fishing, and I'm kind of happy I went into that world because it's a much less stressful, even though customers can be stressful sometimes, it's a less stressful situation. IT, when your computer goes down, all shit hits the fan, and people want it running now. So I don't miss those days, but I miss the days of going to the expo and just looking through all the booths. Moscone Center in San Francisco, you would have a whole day and multiple days of walking around, going to booths. You had a plan. You went in there. Some of you would go through really quick to find what you wanted to do and then go back before the day is over to hit those booths in longer times. Other people that had multiple days stay there would gradually work their way through each and every row. There was multiple places in Moscone Center, the main one, and then another building B or whatever it was, and you'd walk over there and enjoy all these things and pick up swag. The days of swag. What's happened to swag? You can't get swag anymore. Like I would have handed, and I think back in the day I did give some people a MacSociety.com t-shirt. Those type of things I miss, and it's people on people. This day and age, everything's AI. It's working for you, doing your job, and you're doing nothing. You got to get back to meeting people, shaking hands, being together. Yes, utilize this tech in AI to do a few things, but don't let it don't let it make you lose your humanity. That's maybe what I'm trying to get to. And Macworld Expo was a way to get together, have fun, and hopefully one day Apple sees that and says, okay, why don't we do a big expo where the world comes and gets together again, not just at one little place. If you could do it at your Apple campus, great, but let other people come in and have all these booths. I don't know, does Apple campus currently have a place that's the size of a Moscone Center where you can have people having all these booths and stuff? I don't think so. I know Apple campus is huge, and they've got a theater, but it's not as grand and big, I don't think, as a Moscone Center was in terms of a conference or an expo. I'm getting teared up. I'm just missing it so much. Anyway, this time of year, I start reminiscing, and I miss those days. And hopefully someday we get back to those days where people get together again, and I can shake your hand and say, thanks for making a wonderful product. I'm going to help support it by buying it, utilizing it, and I'll call you when I need tech support. Anyway, Macworld Expo. Do you miss it? Did you attend? Did you go to any of the keynotes like Wayne and Garth doing, look at this, I got the Platinum Pass, and I saw Steve Jobs twice in a keynote, and that excites me still today. May he rest in peace, Steve Jobs. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Post down below. Let me know if you ever attended, wanted to attend, whatever. I attended many a times, and I got to go to a couple keynotes, and I'm so thankful for having that experience. Sitting out in the middle in San Francisco at midnight, trying to get a spot so I can get in the keynote early enough to where you had a seat and you weren't in the overflow. So I was there at like midnight with a little beanie on, trying to stay warm, having some coffee, sitting out of Moscone Center or wherever they had the keynote. I forgot what exact building it was, and being with other people that are there for the same reason. It was a hoot. Thanks for watching. Bye.